Again, Gooners. It's number 61 of the Loose Cannon. Crowd are very loud in the background. It's to be expected, really. They're very excited. I don't know which team they're actually supporting. I've got Alan Gibson of JSoccerMagazine on the way. I'm gonna kind of pull him in with that imaginary rope that I use occasionally when I'm showing how bad I was as an actor. Yeah. Look more like a dance routine, and here he is doing his robotic Peter Crouch dance. Here he is, Alan Gibson. Guess what? This is the agenda. I'll give you a quick flash. This is what we're going to be talking about, amongst other things. Mapu, Yanga-Mbiwa. I'm not going to read the list. It would take too long. But the Emperor's Cup is down at the bottom. That's what you've got to sit through. That's almost like advertising, because can't monetize this. You can ask YouTube why. I'm starting to get all upset. I'm getting all upset. Yeah, the only monetizing going on is that. Yeah, that's me spending money on parking and all sorts. So Alan, tell us about the Emperor's Cup. What do we need to know and what do we not need to know?
Emperor's Cup is could well be the second oldest football tournament in the world after the FA Cup. It's 92nd year this year.
Oh, is that a fact?
Oh, the 92nd Emperor's Cup pulled up a few shall we say shocks.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about
giant killings.
I don't know about surprises or shocks really, to be honest, because Consadole Sapporo bit the dust, but they're you know, like bottom of the league and they've won only one game in the last 7 years or something. But Vissel Kobe, well, that wasn't really a shock either, because Sagna are pretty good in the JFL, but they lost.
Can they get promotion, Sagna?
Don't ask complicated questions. Actually, no, Sagna are one of the teams who, as far as I know, don't want to be on the J League. They're staying around as a company, which is why they're still called Sagna, which is a delivery company.
And there's a team called Sagna Printing as well.
Yes, there is. Sagna. They're also
in Kyoto.
Indeed, so indeed.
And they're not going to get promotion either.
They might be the same team, right?
Yeah, it could be.
So, well, let's have a quick run through them. Sanfrecce Hiroshima 1, FC Imabari 2. Yes. The team up there, that's a bit of a shock, you know, Sanfrecce. And well, we'll discuss later about who's they're going to play in the next round and where, because that's another thing we're worried about. But yeah, well, S-Pulse won 5-0, Shonan Belmare won, Tokushima Vortis won 5-1 against Fujiyama Okayama.
Which sounds like a rude part, to be honest, but we won't discuss that at length.
Urawa Red smashed Volca Kagoshima 2-1.
Oh, just give us a giant killings. We are only interested in giant killings. Was there only 2? I've only got 2 down here.
On Sunday, we got Sagan Tosu 0, Kamatamare Sanuki 1. So Tosu went down.
Yeah.
And they have
a bunch of Tosus.
They're the best team at home in the league. Yeah. And they got stuff 1-0 by a non-leaguer. Yeah. Oh dear me. And FC Tokyo 0, Yokogawa Musashino 1. Sounds like a sumo wrestler to me, actually.
It does a little.
Yokogawa Musashino.
And do they get as big crowds as sumo wrestlers do?
No, but they do throw cushions around.
They throw cushions?
Yes.
Yeah, and there's you told me the gates are about 4,000 on average for the Emperor's Cup. Is that right?
Average, I don't know. There's probably might be a few less than that. I mean, it's not the well. Both of the cup competitions are not really watched too much. Or did I just
fiddling with my equipment? Why does he fiddle with my equipment? I'm not
so sure. The funny thing is, after all that bit of a giant killing, you see, and I've got my little high-tech stuff here, is that I can go into the next round of the Emperor's Cup, and the funny thing is, you see, it's a pre-selected draw. So you know the teams up here, and then they go like this, and then they meet in the final. But
that kills some of the anticipation. That kills some of the excitement, because the best thing about the cup is the draw.
That's right.
Like, it's better than the match.
Ball number 7. Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur against ball number 3. Bury. You know, and Bury get all excited, and then they beat Tottenham, of course.
And have you ever noticed when the FA pull out these balls, they always have to make some remark about black ball? I always say, and all the magic of the cup. Some little epithet like that.
So epithet. So yeah, they do this pre-determined draw. So what you got now is Consadole lost to a JFL team, right? So next week, October the 10th, Wednesday night.
Oh, we wait with bated breath.
You've got AC Nagano Pasero versus Yokogawa Musashino in Consadole, in Sapporo's ground.
Yeah.
So 2 JFL teams. So a big treat for the JFL fans.
So compare it, you know, sort of compare it to England. How would that be? It's the equivalent of what? Dulwich Hamlet playing against Dover
in Newcastle.
In Newcastle,
for example.
Yeah. At St James's Park.
The other one, of course, Imabari beat Sanfrecce, but that was, you know, everybody presumed Sanfrecce were going to win that because the next game is in Sanfrecce's home stadium. So you've got you've got the giant killers FC Imabari against Machida Zelvia from Tokyo playing in Hiroshima Big Arch, where even if every single one of their fans goes there, there'll be like 750 people and 3 dogs. So
is there any chance they're going to revise the Emperor's Cup, or is it written in stone? Or some other very hard material?
Yes, it's written in diamond actually. I mean, I had a word actually literally like 15 years ago. I had a go at the JFA about it. Yeah. And of course they totally ignored me and said, "Who's this strange foreigner?" But the problem is that a lot of the grounds in this country are not owned by the teams. They're owned by the city or the council or even some local wedding chapel who rents it out to the football team on the weekend.
I tell you what, I've got a great idea for them. They can bring in AKB48 or something like that, and then that will bring the fans in, and then they can play some little Mickey Mouse game against 2 sort of part-time teams playing against each other. AKB48. The reason why it's relevant, you know what AKB stands for, don't you? I'm testing your Arsenal knowledge. Apart from that, it's got another meaning. See, they could have a lot of popularity with some certain Arsenal fans who believe Arsene knows best.
Really?
Arsene knows best. AKB. Yeah. AKB 48, change it to 49. 49 games unbeaten. Makes sense, right? That's a new pop group. That is a new pop group. Right. That was a good link to getting back onto Arsenal.
Anyway, so what I was going to say. So your problem is, for example, you get, let's say you got 2. Well, Vissel Kobe. Okay, let's say Vissel Kobe won, and then Cerezo Osaka won, and then they end up. Well, we had this point where you get an Osaka derby. Yeah. In Sapporo.
Which is mental.
Or 2 teams from Tokyo playing in Kyushu. So it is a bit mental, but the problem is that if, for example, Vissel Kobe against Cerezo Osaka turned up, they'd think, oh well, let's play that in Vissel Kobe's ground, or and then somebody's already booked a wedding there, or somebody's playing a 5-a-side football tournament there, or something. I mean, these things happen. Yeah. So, and you can't cancel somebody's wedding for a football match, can you?
Oh, not at all, not at all.
So so basically they're not going to change it in the near future. So I digress.
Yes.
Arsene knows best anyway.
Yeah. So you agree with that? So why did you buy all these players? All these players we've got listed down here. Look, and I'll just go through them one by one, and Alan's going to tell me why did we not buy? Why did we not buy Mapu Yanga-Mbiwa? He's out of contract 2013. He's 23. Newcastle might buy him in January. He rejected the idea of moving to Arsenal, apparently, even though the interest was only tentative. We've crossed that bridge already. The bid from AC Milan was rejected, £4.8 million. He was a champ. He won the title in France.
With Montpellier.
With Montpellier, so he must be worth something. He said, this is his quote, Arsenal tried to sign me, that's my slight French accent, but I had my attention elsewhere. If you were Arsene Wenger and were genuinely interested, would you go back for some player who didn't seem to want to move to Arsenal at that stage?
I think he's got his eye. He said one of the ladies from the Nadeshiko World Cup winning team plays in Montpellier, so perhaps he's got ulterior motives in staying. Right. I think Samashima's down there. I'm not sure. Someone will put me right if I'm wrong.
And so, what do you think? What do you think about Arsenal? Arsenal are often known as the Wenger boys, and I've got this little idea coming. Sorry, bear with me on it. Chiku Kouyate and Tiote, if they both signed for Arsenal, which is unlikely, but if they both signed for Arsenal, what would be the new Arsenal nickname?
A chicka.
No. We are the cheeky boys, we are the... No, okay. I said no singing, right? Yeah, anyway, so that's why they're not going to join. That's Chiku Kouyate of Anderlecht. He's a defender, but I've got a quote from him. He's also been linked with Newcastle as well, and Manchester City. He's 22, he's out of contract 2014, and he said he only stayed with Anderlecht because they made the Champions League. He said, the Anderlecht fans, I really don't believe this, but I'll let you decide whether it's true or not. He said, the Anderlecht fans begged me to stay. Is
he French too?
He's slightly, what is he? I think he's Belgian. I'm not too sure about that. He might be Senegalese, I do not know. But he's French speaking. But the important thing was that we managed to qualify for the Champions League. If that had not worked out successfully, then I think I would be playing in London. So, how does that work out that he could be playing for Newcastle or Man City? I don't know. So obviously Arsenal were that club. And this is what he said about Arsenal. I had a good feeling about contact from Wenger and Arsenal. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean he had contact, or he just went to a seance and they talked about some sort of contact?
I don't know, but I'm a big fan of that guy.
You're a big fan of that guy, really? Oh yeah, nice fan. What's that advertising?
Yamazaki single malt whiskey.
Right, so we're waiting for your check. Okay, and
Kirin Lager beer.
I'll skip some of those players for now.
I think you should, because the
no. Wait a minute.
Total waste of time.
No, but people are very interested in that kind of stuff. So don't be so disrespectful. So, did you see any of the international footage involving Arsenal players? I bet you didn't. Cazorla scored. You like Cazorla, don't you?
Yeah, it's really nice. I used to use olive oil, but now
yeah, Cazorla's the one, the best product on the market. But
it's good on the sausages.
And Diaby, you never guessed the latest on Diaby.
He's injured.
Yeah, how did you guess?
Oh, what a surprise! Really?
But before, you're going to like some of this. I picked this out especially for you, actually. He said, Djourou said, he can eliminate 4 to 5 players in a row. He has great vision. And this, I really love this. No, you're going to like this. I promise you. You will definitely like this. He is mounted on 2 matchsticks with a spot of glue in the middle.
He's a Sabutio player, isn't he?
Yeah,
he just falls over and gets broken.
And he added, he is quite fragile. And he's proved it by being absent for the next France game.
We are so fragile. Sorry,
Gary Newman. Oh, it's Gary Newman. Right, so, and then, I want to know which camp, I mean, I don't like to use the word camp with you around, but I want to know which camp you are in. Are you in the Giroud, Arsene Wenger, Didier Deschamps camp, who think that Diaby is the best thing since broken sliced bread? Or are you in the Cascarino and Marcotti camp? They believe he's not bad. This is the same guy, and I'll just throw this in while you think about it. He said, I was shaking on the bench because I was scared of getting injured again, and he's got crocked in training, I think. He took a shot and it didn't work out well.
What's Cascarino got to do with it?
I don't know, he's a pundit. Pundits are allowed their views. And, get this, wait, I've just got to throw this one other thing in the mix. This, I think this was a physio called Renard Longueur.
He loves his French accent, don't you know?
In 2011, Abu had the right leg of a 10-year-old. Now, what do you make of that? Is that a guy, bearing in mind he's got a bit of glue holding 2 matchsticks together, but one of the matchsticks is the matchstick of a 10-year-old.
I think would you want Diaby, if he's got the right leg of a 10-year-old, I should have him arrested.
Yeah,
I mean, really, come on.
Yeah, you better
take him away, string him up my side.
Yeah, you better sort of drive carefully if he's
careful.
Yeah, I think so. Like Santos, like Andre Santos.
Like Andre Santos.
Yeah, there was a really good chant going on about he drives as he wants or something like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good chant.
I must admit, I was a bit naughty during the 1996 European Championships when I was down at Villa Park watching Holland and Patrick Kluivert.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that with the French.
No, because he's Dutch.
Because he's Dutch.
Yeah.
He was training around close by, and I couldn't resist shouting out, "Oh yeah, can I give you a ride home, Patrick?"
Yeah.
And he actually turned around and gave me the thumbs up. So even though he was getting some stick for because he'd been done for drunk driving.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He actually appreciated the little subtle joke from the Brummie.
Oh, I thought he was actually going to give you a lift.
You
didn't get a lift.
You got the thumbs up.
Yeah,
I think it was a thumb. I mean,
it could have been another thing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's not show everyone because we don't want to make this an over 18 show, do we? So and also on internationals, the Ox got a rollicking. Some people put a B in front of that and changed it to brollicking, which I don't really understand. But he got a rollicking from the manager, Roy, as you like to call him. I wouldn't do that because I'm disrespectful. You wouldn't be disrespectful at all.
Disrespectful, no.
No. And I didn't even notice he had a list, but let's not digress. But anyway, the Ox, he had a great first half apparently. I didn't watch the game, I confess. You probably did because you're England addict. And didn't do anything in the second half, didn't defend very well. And then he got hauled off and Theo came on and also created a goal. Both of them. So what did you make of their performances?
Well, I think Theo Walcott needs to sign a new contract, eh?
Yeah,
why haven't we talked about that before?
Yeah, so I think we might have done. He's going to Spartak Moscow in January. Have you not?
Theo Walcott for Urawa Reds.
Do you believe Theo could leave the UK and sign? Because he can, quite easily. But will he?
He flies when he wants and where he wants to.
Yeah, and he will. Do you think he'd go as far afield as Russia?
I think he might. I mean,
the money's there.
I don't think, even though he wants, everybody's saying he need a rise, he wants an improved contract. Unless he's a real mercenary, which I hope he isn't. 75,000 quid a week's enough, and he's probably put enough away already, right, to keep himself. So I hope not. Money is not the thing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He just wants more regular football, and maybe a new challenge. So maybe Spartak Moscow will be the right place to be because they speak French accent there. You know?
Everywhere.
Everywhere they speak French.
It's the best football in this way. So anyway, Theo's out of the next England game with a mystery virus that's affected Sturridge as well. It seems like anyone that's got any connection, because Sturridge was sort of connected with Arsenal during the transfer window. You're getting a little bit too relaxed, but anyway, I don't want to lean back as well. I like it here.
Mieti's next to me.
Oh, okay. But anyway,
Takahara's over there.
Talking of wingers, I was talking about Theo, and he's laid low with this mystery virus. And Marouane Chamakh also laid low with this mystery virus, which some suspected was malaria, but isn't. There is a little bit of connection here. What about Fabianski? I mean, I don't know. I don't suppose you've heard anything, but I thought I'd throw it your way anyway. But Fabianski was left out of the team that played against Liverpool. He wasn't even on the bench. Then he's in Poland, on the bench. They're not so stupid as to play him, but he was on the bench. So what do you think's going on with Fabianski? He's out of contract next summer. I mean, we've not heard a thing. Would you, would you suspect skullduggery or
skullduggery?
Yeah,
I suspect
piracy.
that Manon is sort of staking his little place, isn't he? Staking his claim for a place. So he's not needed anyway, is he? So
and we've got a really decent goolkeeper who was on the bench, Damien Martin.
That's right, Damien Martin. He's great. I remember when he used to drive for Formula One. Yeah.
Slightly different guy, but I know what you mean.
Talking of Arsenal goalkeepers, though, what's that about? Jens Lehmann.
Yeah.
I just called to say.
No singing. No singing. So Jens could be playing in the Paralympics, right, for Germany. That's the idea. You know, let us know about it. Let's blindfolded. He's got to play blindfolded. I mean, I thought it was a joke.
It sounds to me as if he's setting himself up for like the ultimate, my goalkeeper's blind jokes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen his wife?
Does that prove he's not blind?
Well, I mean, if he puts his blindfold on, then he can say, I haven't seen his wife either.
Right.
That's the old Stevie Wonder joke, sorry.
Oh, okay. So, and all jokes aside, what about Andrei Arshavin? What's going on with him? He's not going to get any international football if he's not a first-team regular. Will Arsene Wenger give him another chance?
I think he's in that new film. Have you seen it? Snow White and the Eight Dwarfs?
Yeah.
You seen that? Did you know? There's two Snow White films out now, and one of them has 8 dwarfs because Disney complained that they couldn't make a film about Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, so they made it Snow White with 8 dwarfs. It's the one about the huntsman, with the girl from Twilight in it, and the mighty Thor. And she said, "Are you mighty Thor?" He said, "Yes, I am." Anyway. Sorry, where were we?
Oh, I think we'll just skip Andrei Arshavin then.
Arshavin.
Yeah. But you think he's a good player though, right? Where would you play him?
If he puts his mind to it. Well,
is he a winger or is he a proper number 10? It's a bit of a loaded question, that.
I think he's a number 10 winger.
Thanks for not answering that. Chuck Saniki, I bet you don't know too much about him. So I'll keep it brief. He's been on loan at Stevenage and Preston. He's now on loan at, where has he gone? I can't remember. Crewe for a month. And he was a sub against Tranmere, 0-0. I mean, how many of these sort of players that are coming through the ranks at Arsenal have caught the eye? Connor Henderson scored an amazing goal the other night for Ireland's under-21s. I don't know if you saw it.
Connor Henderson? Yeah, he doesn't speak with a French accent, that boy.
No, but he doesn't even speak with an Irish one because he's born in London.
He's born in Pickham.
Actually, I think it's sort of around that way. Yeah, I think it's where was it? Oh, Sidcup. Is it Sidcup?
Yeah.
Connor Henderson, a really good player. I've been raving about him. People say I'm getting a bit over the top, but he's like Liam Brady, but without the dribbling skills. Yeah. And he's a bigger guy, probably not as quick as Liam Brady.
So apart from that, nothing like Liam Brady.
But he's got a wand of a left foot.
A wand of a left foot.
Yeah, I mean, he could take up magic. He could take up magic if you don't make it in football. But I think he will. So you haven't seen him yet or heard of him, but you wait, you will. But Nicholas Bendtner, you've heard of, and guess what? Could be a reunion at Arsenal. He could be coming back.
He's only just gone.
I know, but listen to this. If you don't mind me quoting, you probably do, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to.
Is this going to be an Italian accent?
No, this is Arsene Wenger. So back to the French accent. Okay. Nicholas Bendtner is a top player. I think that by playing for Juventus, he will improve. Then he will come back to Arsenal. Juventus will enhance him for us. So that sounds like he's looking forward to having the new enhanced version of Bendtner.
But the French don't pronounce the H, so it would be enhanced.
Enhanced, yes, you're quite right.
You're not enunciating it right.
And then, okay, wait a minute, I'm not finished yet. See, I've got a lot to read out. And then he said, Nicholas Bendtner can do well in Italy. He has had his difficulties here. You cannot doubt the player's value though. We believe in him. That is why we only gave him to Juve on loan. On loan, that is. I think he can resolve his problems with us and prove himself. We believe in him. And then he had a little moan about Juventus trying to buy players for a tenth of the amount that they're trying to sell them for. He said they want 70 million euros for a player, but they're only prepared to pay 7 million. Well, don't Arsenal do that? Isn't that a case of the pot calling the kettle black?
The pot calling the kettle noir.
Noir. This is more correct. So, Bendtner, has he got a future at Arsenal?
No.
Not at all?
No.
No way in this world. Not after all those quotes, all that talking is empty.
It's obvious that Mr. Wenger is, going to sell him to Juventus, but wants to up the price, right?
Oh, right. So
in my humble opinion,
I like the way you read between the lines there. I think for the first time I have to commend you and say what a good job. What a good job. But he's not coming back. But anyway, what about Johan Gouffran? Have you ever heard of this guy? You must have heard of this guy in dispatches because I think he's been linked with just about every club.
Plays for Bordeaux.
Yes, good start. He's 26 and he's. You guess what he's allergic to?
Peanuts.
You're never going to guess what he's allergic to. Think something along the lines of football.
French accent. Leather.
Not leather.
Oh, latex.
No, but you're getting nipped sort of warm.
Sort of rubbery type stuff.
Not really.
Shingles.
Think more natural. More natural.
Bad referees.
No, but
bold referees.
Not bold referees.
Yellow cards.
No. Are you running out of things to be allergic to? Think of the most important thing on most football grounds that are not
grass.
Correct.
He's allergic to grass.
Yes. Gouffran. I don't know. I read it on Wikipedia, so you can't always trust these things.
No,
but then it had a link to a reputable website, which I have forgotten the name of. But I think it's a very unfortunate allergy to have if you're a footballer, to be allergic to grass. But he's been linked with teams that don't have. He should be linked with QPR, but the QPR revolted. That had the plastic pitch.
They were playing in Russia.
On Russia. Which team? Do you remember?
Oh, loads of them.
Loads of them. Oh, it's loads.
Loads of them.
That's why Theo shouldn't go to Russia then. Anyway, Fulham, Everton, Aston Villa also interested in Gouffran.
Yeah, he pointed at me when he said Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, because he's a sort of closet Brummy. Not always staying in the closet. You should stay there sometimes, I think, but you advertise it, so I'm advertising it too. So while we're talking of advertising, a bit of JSoccerMagazine advertising going on. So anyway, this guy, we've heard a lot about him. He was always pacey, apparently. Always had 2 good feet. He's going to cost about £3 million in January.
I'll have 2.
But he's going to be out of contract 2013. Do you think Gouffran will move? And if he does, will he move to Arsenal? Or will he move to Fulham, Everton, or Aston Villa? I know which team you're going to say.
He'll go to Fulham on loan, and then he'll get sold for free to Arsenal a year later.
Oh, I like the way you're talking.
He likes that. He likes that. Extra point for me there.
Right, and I'm going to talk about loanees again. I know I've bored you to death with Chuck Zaniki.
Loanees.
Denilson. You've seen a lot of Denilson. What's your view? He played twice for Sao Paulo. Get this. He was involved in the full 90 minutes against Internacional, 1-1 draw, and he got sent off against Santos. I don't know when he's out of contract, but it's not soon enough.
Are we talking about Denilson who plays for Kashima Antlers?
No, different Denilson. But you can link it if you want.
Actually, it's Nagoya Grampus.
So anyway, yeah. Not a good advert, really, getting sent off if he wants to come back and play for Arsenal, which I don't think he does. But Francis Coquelin, you've seen him too, right, recently?
Francis Coquelin.
You like him?
My wife makes a good Coquelin.
Oh, Coquelin, yeah. That's what we call him, a lot of us. And Coquelin, so...
He's all right. How about Johan Djourou?
Yeah, and what about him? I was going to mention
Sagna. What are we going to talk about them? Because they're on my list. And we're running out of time, so I thought I'd push them.
What do you mean we're not running out of time? Yeah.
Have you bought JSoccerMagazine?
Yeah, but Coquelin, right?
Coquelin.
Do you think he's going to get loaned out? Because he's basically saying he wants first team football. He's not played in the first 3 games, and he's running out of patience. He said he wants. If he doesn't get the opportunity, how can he seize the chance? I mean, I can see where he's coming from, but he's only 21, but he's running out of patience. Does that mean it's time to not give him P45, but to loan him out? He's been loaned out to Lorient. I suggested maybe Orient is next, because it's nearly the same apart from one letter, right? So,
some of these players
is he any better than Seb Larsson, for instance? I mean, Seb Larsson got impatient and Arsenal got rid of him. I thought Larson was a really good player.
And he did really well at Birmingham City, and now he's doing average in the red and white.
Yeah, Sunderland, right?
Sunderland.
So, what do you make of Coquelin?
I can make a hat, I can make a plane.
So, you're not going to answer that one, are you?
So, Coquelin now, I mean, to be honest, let's face it, Arsenal got about 60 players on the books, technically, haven't they?
Not many defensive midfielders.
Or even more.
See, he's read into Arsenal's lack of activity on the transfer front.
And Diaby's injured.
And Diaby's now injured, which is no big surprise. There's no Song, there's no replacement.
Fabregas is long gone, wasn't replaced.
And Fabregas wasn't properly replaced either. So
exactly.
So there you go. So who was it compared to Fabregas the other day? Cleverly.
Cleverly.
Can you
who
see?
Yeah.
I don't know, but whoever it was, I decided not to read the article.
You cleverly put that in there, didn't you?
Yeah, cleverly threw that in. And Johan Djourou, what have I got to say about him? Arsene Wenger said this. Napoli were interested, apparently prepared to pay £10 million in June. But Arsene Wenger said, I did not let Johan Djourou leave, as I love him as a player and he loves the club.
And he's got the 10-year-old boy's leg.
He has got, no. Has he? Well, anyway, Johan. I think Johan's a good utility player, and I think he does genuinely love the club, because I've even seen him on Arsenal Player, which is the Arsenal internals or TV fans. Well, I know you haven't seen that, but he clearly loves the club. He clearly loves the club. So what do you think, Johan Djourou? You wouldn't get rid, would you?
No, I wouldn't get rid. He has a French accent,
and he's got a French accent. He speaks the lingo. Let's keep him. But what about Bakary Sagna? He's I haven't really got a lot to say, because we did talk about him before, didn't we? We started saying that he's moaning about the transfer policy, saying that these players haven't been replaced. And then, but one thing I thought you might be interested in, which is sort of taking a, not a world view, but a view of the English game in general. We said, when you look at the behaviour of English players who go up to the cameras and say swear words,
naughty words,
2 swear words, the French players are saints. Now, discuss. Is that true, false, or, and is Bakary just...
I think basically we should keep our eye on the cameras down in Marseille and we'll compare English players and French players.
Oh yeah, so that would be a fair comparison, because if they say, start swearing in French...
World football, I mean, look at this for a shirt. Isn't this a lovely shirt? Yeah, it is. I mean, look at that.
The most tenuous
An original world map shirt.
But wait a minute, it doesn't go right across the world, does it? It ends. The world ends. Where does it end? It ends
en France.
Not quite France, is it? It's not Mongolia.
Yeah.
Mongolia.
It's basically this side of the world, because it's got Mongolia and Hong Kong. I mean, China, Korea, Japan. It's a lovely shirt, isn't it?
It's a
and I
lovely
guess
shirt.
It was a sneaky way of getting JAL, the sponsors of Shimizu Expulse at that time, even more exposure.
Yeah, yeah.
And in fact, JAL, if you're listening or you're watching, if you'd like to. Slip us any money out of JAL, Japan Airlines. Feel free,
But JAL, please include the whole map this time. At least get as far as London. That would be nice, because they do fly there, right?
But the funny thing is that a world map, Sekai no Chizu in Japanese, is actually what they call when little kids wet the bed and then they stain the sheets.
Oh, they call it.
And they call it a world map because it looks.
That's
like
pretty clever.
So
I like that.
Digressing there, of course, in the best Ronnie Corbett sense.
Yeah. And talking of cleverly. No, it's talking of players like Cleverly. There's nothing like Cleverly. Leighton Baines, Everton player. He's been linked with Arsenal. £15 million, the asking price for a 27-year-old
international left back.
Somebody said, is he worth the same as Santi Cazorla? I think I know the answer to that. But is he worth bringing in to Arsenal when they've got Kieran Gibbs, they've got Andre Santos,
they've got Bagari Sagna? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but wrong side. Bakary's right back. But do they need another left back?
What they need is someone called Coke in defence. Then you can have Bakary and Coke.
Oh yeah, I was wondering where you're going with that. You notice my ears pricked up for the first time. And his teammate, who I've been linking to Arsenal since, this summer, not that long, Marouane Fellaini. Because people ask me, who would you like to see at Arsenal? Yeah, but that guy runs Everton's midfield. He's one of the best players I've seen in the Premier League. So one of the best imports of all time.
It would be killing 3 birds with 2 stones if they signed him, because it would kill off Everton as well, wouldn't it?
And what's the other? Just 2 birds with 1 stone.
Well, he's got a couple of birds in his hair as well.
Yeah, probably. It is a bit of a bird's nest. But I want you to read. You're good at reading between the lines of my quotes now, so I'd like to.
Someone at the door.
Yeah, somebody. So we're getting, we're getting loads of action in here. But that's to be expected. So I hope you can hear us over the cacophony that's going to commence in any moment now. But I'll bring this a little bit closer just in case they can't hear us. And then I'll can we continue or just knock it on the head?
I think we should get him on the TV. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Yeah, there's a lot of bowing going on. How about we just commentate on it? Yeah. Oh, is it a sales call? Is it a sales call? Oh, well, then we're just going to talk completely over it. And
sell you a photocopier or something.
Oh, he's going to try and sell a photocopier. And we're saying, we're very well equipped in the photocopying department. A bit like Arsenal's back four, we certainly don't need a central defender. We don't need a left back. I mean, we've got the central midfielder, defensive midfielder who gets cropped and he's got a bit of glue holding him together. But apart from that, a bit like the photocopier, he does work. And where are we at now in the story?
I think he's getting
the
idea. He's getting we're okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, and the weather's quite nice.
It's a bit like someone shopping there. I'd like to sell you a Joey Barton. Would you mind? Would you like a Joey Barton? No, thanks.
I might take a Joey Barton, funny enough. Yeah. We've been down that route. So anyway, going back to Marouane Fellaini, because I think we're at the stage now where the flyer's being given and his hopes flagging.
Yeah, he's about to give up and leave.
Yeah, I think he's going to do that at this stage.
Should we get him?
So,
do you want to? Before he gets kicked out, let's get him over to give us a wave.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fair enough.
It's like live TV.
Yeah, it's like live TV. This. I mean, I don't know if you're going to fully appreciate it.
Lots of bowing over here.
Yeah,
come on over. Hi, Kitty, go to side. Hi, come on, say hello.
We want the English people to see you. They're gonna say, well, they're not gonna speak to you, but
photocopy salesman.
Which who's your favourite football team? Can you translate?
J-League.
Yeah.
Which team?
Vissel Kobe, Gamba. Vissel Kobe. See, I guess. How did I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looks very embarrassed though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You won't be coming here again. No. So say arigato, thank you very much.
Yeah, arigato gozaimasu. Thank you. We always got special guests turning up. You never know. So we've got to do a bit of bowing now.
He's very embarrassed now.
Yeah, but he's famous now. What's famous in Japanese again?
Yume.
Mr. Yume-san. Is that fair enough?
Poor guy. He had no idea what was going on there.
So, anyway, this guy genuinely is famous. It's Marouane Fellaini we're talking about here. And I know we're on 30 odd minutes. But
32 minutes?
Yeah. But I told you it's going to be a long one. I am starting my 5th season with Everton. Oh, where did the French accent go?
It's Belgian.
Right, French-Belgian. I am starting my 5th season at Everton FC. This will be the first and my last. No, the first of my last. Not and my last. I made a mistake there. This will be the first. This will be one of my. I'll get it right in the end. This will be one of my last. Now, I don't think you need to read a lot into that. He's saying it quite clearly to me. And he said, I have seen everything. Has he? Has he really? In January, or at the end of the season, I will turn to another club or another championship.
Or a bigger check.
Yes. Then he says this. I was very surprised to read in some newspapers that I will leave Everton. And very soon, and perhaps next January. Let me remind you, I am very happy in Liverpool, and our start to the championship was good. So with Everton, I am ready to play all the season and to reach our goals of the season.
Of the season.
Yeah. So, you make of that what you will. Could he possibly be on the way then? And if so, Arsenal must be in with a chance, although the fee is going to be huge, right?
Well, I don't know. Is his contract finished next year?
No. I think he's out of contract. When would he... Oh, he joined in 2008, and I don't know how long... Could be. But I think he signed a new deal. I'm sure he signed a new deal.
I think Standard Liège will be keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, as if they can afford £15 million. Is what Everton paid. So Everton are never going to sell for less than 20, right? Never. Yeah. It's never going to happen.
Even with the hair.
Yeah. So what do you reckon? What's the minimum he could go for? Because Arsenal obviously we've got to think in those terms. We're never going to pay above the odds.
Isn't it more? How much does he want per week? Is it like 75 the limit or what?
80 maybe.
And that's just obscene, isn't it? I mean, how many people are watching this that can actually earn 80,000 quid a week?
So basically, you're saying he's going to end up with Man City. I can feel it. I'm starting to get depressed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about depressed. The online Gooner. I love the online Gooner, obviously.
The online Gooner.
But the online Gooner, there's a really good story on there by
yes.
Mark Woodard, and in this, I'm not going to go through the whole story, obviously, but he said we're keeping costs down by not negotiating new deals, except for youngsters like Oxlade-Chamberlain, because they've sort of worked it out, done all the maths, and it makes financial sense to let people run down their contracts. Can you see any sense in what Arsenal are doing there, letting certain players? Well, I mean, obviously certain players will leave on a free, probably like Fabianski, not a bad thing. But then Andre Arshavin, no resale value at all, because he had that one spell when he was playing really well. But you know, and then we got Theo Walcott, and that's the one that obviously everyone's upset about. So you think it's no big loss to spend £10 million on a player, have him on comparatively low wages, and then let him go? You think that's
key point? Comparatively low wages.
Yeah.
You see, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Bosman, Mr. Bosman, you got a lot to answer for.
Did I cover all those players on that list?
Hope so.
No, I didn't.
Oh, no.
So sorry about this.
There's more.
Right, Adrian Lopez. He is a Spanish international.
Atletico Madrid.
And he's 24, Atletico Madrid. He's been linked by AS to Arsenal, Tottenham, Barcelona. He's got a £14.5 million release clause. He's stalling on a new deal. He's out of contract 2015. So is he worth £14.5 million? I can't say I've seen him in action enough, but he's got 2 caps for Spain apparently.
2 caps for
Wikipedia,
Spain.
unless somebody's messed with it, as they often do.
Yeah.
So
I was the manager of Sweden once, did you know?
Oh yeah, we've been there. Yeah. So you're saying you wouldn't shell out
14.5. I think Arsenal have got enough on their play. I mean, if Francis, Coquelin, Joan, Djourou, etc., etc., I think these guys should be given a chance.
Yeah, I think so too.
Will the fans put up with it?
But some of these players on this list, the ones which we've talked about, Jesus Navas of Seville. He's obviously a top name. I wouldn't mind getting him. Edin Dzeko, I really wanted him because Man City are going to let him go.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I don't know. He's not as good as Bendtner, is he?
Javier Mascherano, that one I wanted to ask you. Javier Mascherano, I've seen him linked on Bleacher Report, I think. Heard of the Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
Not a bad website.
Mascherano.
But I don't think there's a lot of mileage in that one. Can't imagine it at all. He's
Well,
played for West Ham, Liverpool, and obviously at Barca now. Why would he go to Arsenal, and why would Arsenal want him? I mean, yeah, he's a defensive midfielder, but
He's a thug, actually. So, I mean,
do you think he's that thuggish?
He's quite thuggish. When I spoke to him last year, name dropper.
Did you really?
When I spoke to him last year, he was the only guy who bothered stopping to speak to us at the World Club Championships last year.
Seriously?
Messi went straight round the back. He didn't even turn up.
Yeah.
Mascherano actually spoke to us in English, not bad at all.
Yeah.
And he was all right, you know. But on the field, I mean, he's not averse to taking a guy out, is he?
No, he's got that side to him. He's a decent enough player. Philippe Mexes was a player I always liked, but he's getting on a bit. Can you see Arsene Wenger? I think he's over 30 now, right? 31.
And that's Milan unloaded a few players already, so they've got to keep somebody, haven't they?
Yeah, got to keep somebody. And Philippe Mexes, he's got the kind of name that's going to fit in and kind of language skills that's going to fit in at Arsenal. But can you imagine that one, or not going to happen, is it?
Nah, it's not going to happen.
And Isco, can we get him out the disco?
I don't even know who Isco is, except that he plays for Malaga because it's written there.
He's a winger. And that's all I can say. And Yanga-Mbiwa, just to throw the final one in the mix, because I said I'd talk about all those things.
With the likes of Ox and
Ren.
Ox is playing regularly. Theo Walcott should be playing regularly. Why does one need a winger?
But Mbiwa is a defensive midfielder, and this is the thing. We come back to the Coquelin situation. If Coquelin's going to stay, get his chance, he's going to be happy. We're going to be happy too if he plays out of his skin, which we hope he will.
Well, he's probably slipped a few banana skins into Abu Dhabi's kitchen, hasn't he?
Oh well, yeah, may well have done. That piece of glue is on tenterhooks.
10-year-old legs,
yeah.
You know, come on.
Yeah, I mean, he's really up against it when you think about it. 2 matchsticks, one of which is 10, and the other we don't know the age of because the physio refused to reveal it. And,
super glue.
And we don't even know what sort of glue he's got. It might be super glue. It could be Bostic. Or is it Bostic?
Bosnich. Yoo-hoo.
Bosnich glue.
Bosnich.
That's a good name for glue.
Yeah.
Gluey sort of gloves.
Sticks to your hand.
Fabianski uses them.
Yeah.
Bosnich gluey gloves.
Does he?
I'm not sure. Right, I think we'll leave it there, shouldn't we? Because I can tell you're getting bored.
Sorry,
and it's been about the longest podcast ever. It might not even go up, but I'll try. I'll put it up in 2 instalments.
40
I don't know
minutes.
why I'm doing that with my hands. I just suddenly noticed myself. And you did those robotics at the beginning. So until the next time, you're going to say, buy JSoccerMagazine.
JSoccerMagazine.
And I'm going to say
www.jsoccer.com.
I'm coming over now. Up the Gooners.